I am Miss Karrah. I am a preschool teacher at Generation St. John's, and today I'm going to read you Caps for Sale. It was one of my favorite books growing up. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like any ordinary peddler. Carrying his wares on his back, he carried them on top of his head. First he had his own checkered cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and then on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street, calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said, and he walked out of town slowly, slowly, not to upset his caps. He walked for a very long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," he thought. And he sat down very slowly underneath the tree, and he leaned back little by little against the tree trunk as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put his hands to feel if they were straight. First he checked his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. Then he woke up. He was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hands to make sure his caps were all in the right place. All he felt was his own checkered cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in the back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Where did the caps go? Then he looked up in the tree. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he saw? On every bench sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The peddler looked at all the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking a finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Tch, tch, 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 tch." This made the peddler very angry. So he shook both his hands at them and he said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fists at them and said, "Tch, tch, 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 tch." Now he felt quite angry. He stomped his feet and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stomped their feet at him and said, "Tch, tch, 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 tch." By this time, the peddler was very, very angry. He stomped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stomped their feet back at him and said, "Tch, tch, 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 tch." At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off their cap. And what do you think the monkeys did? And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up the caps and put them back on his head. First his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. Slowly, slowly, he walked back to town, calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." The end.